why aren't more people doing this? Look, there's a number of different reasons, and what I find most commonly is lack of information. And lack of information leads to fear. It's the fear of the unknown, and in most cases, people realise that they need to do something, that whether it's in the front of their mind or the back of their mind, people know, and my clients know they've needed to do something for a long time. It's just they don't know where to start. And most commonly, I mean, their accountant will most probably say, you need to save tax. Their friends and family might say, well, you should be investing into shares or emu eggs or pine trees or property. But where do you start that journey? Because most people want to do the journey, but they are super scared of making a mistake or big mistakes along the way, which could threaten what they already have now. And that's where the most common psychology is. The fear of loss outweighs the desire and the perceived need for asset growth and infinite income leading into their future years in retirement especially. So what we've found is really helping people get all of the information up front in advance with real outcomes projected forward will allow them to understand what they're doing before they even consider doing it. And that's one of the most common things I will tell every single one of my customers or clients. Please, let's not look at doing a property investment now. Let's find out whether, as an asset class, it's the most suitable and viable option for you to achieve your priorities. And that's it, because through life there's a number of different stages we go through in life. We know that. So planning to invest needs to suit that particular stage and those priorities within that stage in real time, because you might say, look, I want to invest to try and get rid of my debt. On my non-tax deductible debt. Well, great. That's that stage. Let's look at what we can do now to hit that and target that priority. And via an investment property, fantastic. We'll put a strategy together for them that will allow them to hit that priority. Once that's done, well, then we have our next stage. Our next stage is, okay, well, how can I now utilise my gross income more effectively in creating asset wealth leading into retirement? By that, it's not just a number. Most people will say to me, well, I'll have $1 million in superannuation when I retire. Great. As a lump sum, fantastic. It will not satisfy their lifestyle needs outside of 10, maybe 12 years, $1 million. When you've got 25 to 30 years in retirement, well, there's a big hole there that needs to be filled so that you're not looking for welfare, which would be poverty line below it. So that fear of the unknown will stop people getting to that first move. And to quote, a perfect saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And that single step simply needs to be, look, let's find out where we start. Once we know where we start, we can then go through a process of elimination to quantify the viability of investing into property. And if it works out that it is the most suitable asset class for your priorities, well, then we can start working out, well, how do we do this? And then we can start showing our clients, well, look, this is how we start. Let's work out what type of property is best suited to your priorities and your requirements. And then we can manufacture that particular property from ground up. We'll design it. And then we can pair that to the financial strategy that will suit your requirements. Because remember, property is a simple vehicle, and you may have heard this before, a vehicle, an asset to achieve a financial goal. And again, that's where the crossover with a lot of people who buy property seems to get confused, because most people's only experience in buying property is literally buying their own home. When we're looking at investing, we're achieving a financial goal, not an emotional goal. And I help people with that mindset to disassociate, the colour of the carpets and the blinds and, the size of the yard relative to what they want, in real, awareness of the fact that, look, Australia as a population per capita is one of the most culturally diverse countries or nations on the planet. So what we perceive to be ideal for us, in most cases, and in typical cases of finding suitable properties for tenants long term, will be different. I've had people say to me, well look, I want to have a minimum of this much living space, and I want to have bedrooms this size, and I want to have 3 levels down to the lounge room, and I want to have a backyard that I can put a shed in, and all of these things which they cross over into an investment purchase, which to be honest is non-relative to the success of the property in line with financially the goals they're aiming to achieve. Whether it be based on affordability and locations and rental return on the investment via the rental yield. So I really want to help people, and the biggest analogy that I like to use is when you go into a familiar area and the lights are on, you're very comfortable. But when you go into an area where the lights are off, it's completely pitch black. It's not comfortable because of that fear of the unknown. Our service and what we aim to do is turn the lights on to show a clear path of exactly what's in front of them, tailored to their needs at that particular stage and ongoing stages in their financial journey. And as I said, it's that starting point that will allow people to understand that, look, it's possible. And they'll find that anyone can do this. It's just that most people don't because of that fear. And the direct correlation is 95% of people will retire broke. Whether it be in the first year or within 5 years, they will be broke. And that's a scary statistic for them and our country moving forward. We really aim to just overcome that. If you found this information helpful, or you think it can help someone you know, please share the link or tag them below.